Hello, welcome to another edition of Chris Speaks. On this episode, I am gonna take down, I'm gonna take down the activist mommy. Ding, 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 ding. Round one. Alright. Okay, so there's this woman. I've discovered her while I was on Twitter. She's got a Twitter account. She's kind of semi-famous, calls herself the activist mommy. She's got obviously Facebook and Twitter. She's got a YouTube page, and she even has her own website where she has her blogs and her videos. And first of all, I think probably a lot of the activist dummies, people that are viewing her, it's not because they agree with her or they like her, but some of them do. Of course, there's going to be some of them, but I think a lot of them, like me, go on there to see what crazy-ass thing she's going to do or say next. I mean, this one claims to be this wonderful Christian, but she just seems to be this really hateful, despicable woman who thinks she knows everything with her 10 kids. I mean, I'll say it right now, I'll probably bring it up again. 10 kids, the world is so dangerously overpopulated that we're gonna, kill ourselves off, and she's having 10 kids and encouraging Christians to have as many kids as possible because of the scary Muslims. Because she flat out said this, she didn't say scary Muslims. On her webpage, she says that they need to have lots of children to keep up with the Muslims, because the Muslims are having a lot of kids, and that's why the religion's going to take over. Well, they're really actually not having that many kids. They're just more people are converting to Islam than they are around the world than they are to Christianity, plus kids and stuff. So it's not all that. So yeah, well, let's encourage, because we're afraid of Muslims. Without knowing anything about them, because all the stuff she said about them on her website is just a bunch of rehashed garbage that all the anti-Muslim trolls say without knowing what they're talking about. Now, there were a few things I was going to get into it, but I couldn't find my copy of the Quran to look it up and make sure. When I looked it up online with one that seemed kind of real, but anyway, since I don't have my copy to confirm it, I won't bring that up. So I'll stay off of that subject as far as the actual what it says in the Quran and stuff. Okay, well, see, her latest thing now, her latest shenanigan is that she's been on an article that she burned a copy of Teen Vogue magazine because there was an article of about anal sex, which of course, as a Christian, she calls sodomy, and then she keeps referring to, the children, they're teaching children sex, shouldn't teach children about sex at all. Actually, it's teenagers, and the reason they teach them about sex is because most of them are going to have sex anyways, so they might as well be safe about it and other stuff, and then they might as well know certain things about sex, but not to a lot of Christians, and not to this woman. Because she claims that it's teaching children to have do sodomy. Okay, first of all, it's teenage Vogue, so it's for teens. It's not for 5-year-olds, and that's the whole thing. I already mentioned that. Okay, and this is the whole thing. Okay. It's a magazine. First of all, why are you spending money, giving money to the people that you're against just to burn their thing? And it's like, if you don't like it, don't read it. If you don't want your kids to read it, don't buy it for them. If your kids have a job, be aware of what they're doing and where they're going. I never understood people, if you don't like a show, you don't watch it. Don't have your kids watch it. Don't try to make it not exist because you don't want to watch it. You don't have to. Take care of your own kids. Make sure you know what they're doing. Don't try to boycott. Well, do a boycott, but it's not going to work. Yeah, it says she burned it. And she burned it, a magazine. A magazine's a book. Burning books. she's a Nazi. She's the activist Nazi. Yes, I'm gonna call you a Nazi because you're burning books. That's what Nazis did. They put books in big piles and set them on fire because they didn't want any information out that they didn't agree with. And then she said, it's funny. It's just funny that she actually helped with the magazine, and she's probably helping the magazine even more by burning it and acting like an idiot, you know. And she really thinks she asks them, okay, all my followers that are Christian, go to your stores, go to your local libraries, blah blah blah, and demand that they get rid of the magazine. First of all, the library's not going to get rid of nothing. First of all, and the stores aren't going to get away from nothing because they don't care if a few right-wing Christians that are flipping out about something don't come to their store. There's a lot of people that come to their store and they make a lot of money off the magazines. They're not going to stop having that magazine. Don't read it. Don't let your kids read it. Know where your kids are doing so they can't sneak a copy of it. Okay, so it's just a little bit of Christian conservatives complaining about a magazine or demanding a magazine is not going to get rid of the magazine. It's not going to happen. And this woman is just helping the magazine by doing this. On her website, the activist mommy, activist dummy, activist Nazi, she had videos with titles such as what people everywhere want to say about refugee band protesters, or what ladies everywhere want to say to women's marchers. No, people and women everywhere don't want to say these things. These are things you want to say and you are saying in your video. You're not speaking for anybody. You're not even speaking for a majority of people. You're not even speaking for most Christians, for one thing. Okay, so yeah, and we know you're right-wing. We know you love Trump. And this is what I had right in here is, no, Elizabeth, that's her name. That's not what people everywhere want to say. That's what you are saying. And not everyone is a fringe, because she's a fringe religious person, a religious fringe freak with 10 kids wanting people to overpopulate the world more than it is. They're not all like you. They're not even a majority like you. And all this stuff you're talking about, Muslims and Sharia law, well, you do a lot of the same things. If you guys could, you could run the country on your idea of what Christianity is. Yeah, debunk it, whatever. I can't prove it. It's kind of not really... It's just me kind of sticking it to her, whether it's true or not. I don't care. But it's just crazy. She goes around telling everybody how wonderful a Christian is and how she's so much of a Christian. Hey, quacktivist mommy, how about you stop bragging about being a Christian and try behaving like one. Try following the teachings of Jesus. I see. Okay, I'm missing a thing here. Where is it? Okay, bear with me. I need to find something. That sucks. I had written this down on here. Here it is. This is what I was looking about here. She spends all of this time claiming to be a Christian. And let's see what Jesus teaches. Let's see, this is Matthew 7:1 and Matthew 7:2. Judge not, lest ye be judged. For with that judgment you judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure you meet, ye shall also be measured. It shall also be measured to you again. Basically, it's saying, don't judge people. Don't be judgmental, because you're going to be judged at the same judgmental level that you're judging people. You'll be held to your own standard. So, yeah. So, that's kind of like the opposite of what you're saying. Because I sure see a lot of judging and a lot of hatred. There's quite a few things Jesus says about hate and stuff like that. And that's the whole thing. Okay. One of her blogs was a rebuttal written about an article written about her, and in her headline they show a picture on the side that's with part of the headline, and it's stamped with fake news. You know, that's the motto of Trump. Fake news, very similar to the word Hitler used, Lügenpresse, meaning lying press. There's kind of connection there, except he's stupid, and Hitler was, for all the evil he was a brilliant man. He was evil, though. But anyways, fake news just proves that she's the trumpeter of this great trumpeter, this great person, because we know that Trump's really a good example of being a Christian, hating on everyone with his banning certain people from coming into this country and stuff. It's just hateful. So anyways, one of the articles, not one of the articles, she lists some of the things that the magazine claims, and then the article claims, and then she rebuts it. Okay, so the claim, and this is in her words, we believe that consent in marriage isn't necessary, and therefore women can rape their husbands. And of course, here's her horrible reply is, false. We're Christians, not Muslims. Actually, that's false. Well, you're obviously Christians and not Muslims, but actually, there's been polls doing, there's a big chunk of Christians, and a lot of these famous evangelists that have said that there's no such thing as marital rape, because a man cannot rape his wife because the woman does not have the right to not consent. She has no right to deny him. So yes, that is that is saying it's okay to rape your wife, but we just won't call it because there's no such thing. But of course, she's going to dump on other religions that she doesn't know a lot about. And she's always in her stupid car, and she uses the same cheesy, lame-ass background music. I mean, if you want to use lame, cheesy background music, sure, do it, but not the same song over and over and over. I guess because your videos are the same crap over and over and over again about you're right-wing, you're Christian, you love Trump, everybody sucks but you, and everyone who has a religion that's not yours is so bad. Let's see, what else do I have here? Well, basically that's all I have written, so man, I'll try not to use so many cue cards as much anymore, because I wish I just had a bigger whiteboard. It's kind of hard to keep up with all the cards and stuff. Well, anyways, she just has all these horrible things to say, and things on everything she does, her Twitter, her everything, and she goes on and on about these horrible pride marches, and it's the gay people are just trying to shove their religion down our throats. I always find it funny that people talk about bad things about gay people and always talk about stuff being shoved down people's throats with their whatever. But anyways, it's like, no, the reason they have pride marches and why they're saying they're proud was they've been made for centuries to be ashamed or be told that they'd actually be murdered or imprisoned or have horrible things done to them just because they were gay. So they're not showing it on your face. They're celebrating themselves to not be ashamed anymore. And all people like you do is just make people feel bad all the time. You know how many people in the past, just like, I don't like even the years I grew up, because I grew up being a very homophobic person. I didn't know, really know any gay people, so like all these other people that hate it, all kinds of people they don't know, I didn't know shit. And then I realized the error of my ways. But for years and years and years, and it still happens where people, because of how their parents treat them, kill themselves because they're gay. And all this horrible stuff. And people like you want to keep that crap going on and want to keep hating on this religion or that religion or anyone that gives you competition or anyone says something to you you don't like. Well, hey, since we're going around like burning stuff and trying to make it so people can't do things, why don't I get a bunch of people together to complain and shut down your website? I'm not going to, because I don't believe in that, but it's just like that. You were mad, activist mommy, you were mad when you thought people were trying to get, Facebook to shut down your Facebook page, even though they have every right to do it. It's their thing. You don't like that, but you want to shut down magazines and stuff that say things you don't like. It's terrible if they want to do the same thing to you because they don't like what you're saying, but no one else has the right. If they don't like what you're saying, you're so high and mighty and you're such an important person that everybody must just like burn magazines everywhere and halt shows and stop doing things because you're offended. Whoa, offend this. There, I did it. There's the bird again, and it's hard to do on this camera because everything's backwards. That's what I think of you, and that's what I think of your webpage, and that's what I think about your whole outlook on things. And just remember, a lot of people are watching your stuff to laugh at you. A lot of people are watching just to see what crazy thing you do. Sure, there's probably like-minded people who are as crazy as you are. But seriously, all you're doing is hating and saying all these bad things, making yourself look bad, and making other Christians look bad. Christians who aren't haters like you. And if they are haters like you, well, if the shoe fits. But this is the whole thing. Christ didn't tell us to be hateful. He said the opposite. The things he taught us to not judge each other. And you'll be like, well, you're judging me. Well, I'm judging you based on your merits, not judging you without giving you the benefit of the doubt. I am looking at it, and and also I'm not a Christian, so it's your religion. So when you're around telling everyone about your religion, it's so wonderful and what to do. Why don't you try following your own religion? Why don't you try following what you're trying to tell everyone to do? Because in a lot of ways, I'm no longer religious, but hey, activist dummy, in a lot of ways, I'm a lot more Christian than you are. And I'm not being very Christian today. Like I said, I'm not Christian, but I could be better one than you without the religion. I grew up religious. I read about Jesus. I know about this stuff, and he sure as heck didn't act like you. Well, that's all I have to say to that. And this is the takedown of the activist mommy. Ding, 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 ding. Yay! We have a victory by knockout. Alright, see you guys next time on Chris Speaks. Till then, see ya.